Beneath the calm skin of the Pacific, where sunlight dies and silence becomes a kingdom, the ocean opens into a wound so deep it swallows imagination. A place where pressure crushes steel, where darkness is older than life itself, where Earth descends farther than the height of the Himalayas. The Mariana Trench, the deepest scar on the planet, and the last true abyss humanity barely understands. The journey begins at the surface, where waves breathe in slow, indifferent rhythms. The sea here seems ordinary, almost gentle, as if hiding its secret beneath a thin blue veil. But just beyond the horizon, the seafloor falls away in a single, impossible plunge, a cliff so steep it feels carved by the hand of a vanished titan. As we descend past the first few hundred meters, the world changes. Light fractures, colors retreat, the ocean becomes a cathedral of fading blues, then bruised purples, then nothing at all. At 1,000 meters, the pressure equals the weight of a small mountain pressing against every inch of our vessel. At 2,000, no human lungs could survive a single breath. At 3,000, the darkness becomes physical, thick, ancient, and strangely alive. Here, life glows to be seen. Bioluminescent forms pulse in the void like wandering stars, fragile blue sparks drifting in a world without sky. They flicker, fade, and reappear in strange constellations, living galaxies that move in total silence. We descend deeper still, following the trench's jagged slope as it bends and twists like a colossal, submerged canyon. The walls are black basalt, volcanic scars left by the restless bones of the earth. Hydrogen sulfide seeps through cracks, forming pale clouds that dance upward like ghostly smoke. The rocks here are older than human memory, older than most life on land, pressed, folded, shattered by forces we never feel above. At 5,000 meters, the ocean becomes a kingdom without softness. The water is near freezing, supercompressed by unfathomable weight. The creatures that live here wear bodies shaped by the impossible or gelatinous forms that bend, stretch, and endure. Fish with bones so thin they mimic shadows. Predators with transparent skin revealing organs glowing faintly like lanterns. Every survival strategy is inverted. Where we rely on strength, they rely on flexibility. Where we rely on lungs, they rely on chemistry. Where we rely on light, they rely on darkness. The trench yawns wider as we sink into the abyssal plain, an expanse of fine sediment that drifts like underwater dust. It lies undisturbed for centuries at a time, waiting for some distant earthquake to stir it into slow, swirling storms. Everything here moves in geological time. The silence is so absolute it feels like the world has ended, and only these ancient organisms remain to remember it. Then, without warning, the ground drops away again. A second descent, the gateway to the Hadal Zone, Earth's final frontier. This is the realm below 6,000 meters, a domain named after Hades itself. Few machines have ever dared to enter it, fewer still returned. The trench narrows into a twisted corridor of rock, as if the planet is folding inward, hiding something sacred and terrible at its core. Vents erupt from the walls like undersea volcanoes, releasing mineral-rich plumes that rise in shimmering columns. They glow faintly with chemical energy, light without fire, heat without sun. Around them gather strange, pale creatures, amphipods with glassy shells, ghostly worms feeding on chemical reactions, colonies of microbes that thrive in conditions lethal to all higher life. These organisms are not just survivors, they are chemists, architects of their own micro-worlds, builders of ecosystems that ignore the rules of biology as we know it. Farther down, at 7,000 meters, the trench becomes a world of crushing silence. The pressure is nearly 8 tons per square inch, enough to collapse submarines, deform metal, and squeeze water molecules into new forms. Yet here, life persists. Tiny crustaceans flutter like fragile white moths. Translucent eelpouts drift between boulders. They seem impossibly delicate, yet they endure forces that would obliterate everything we consider strong. The deeper we go, the more the landscape feels mythic. Valleys within valleys, ridges as sharp as serrated blades, caverns that vanish into infinite black. Every contour shaped by tectonic collisions so violent they birthed island chains and reshaped entire oceans. The Mariana Trench is not merely a hole in the earth, it is a battlefield frozen in slow motion, a record of continents drifting and grinding, a scar left by planetary warfare older than every mountain and river above. At 9,000 meters, even the mythic quiet changes. The water feels heavier, the darkness thicker, as if the ocean itself is warning us that we approach a threshold. And then, in the last stretch, we reach the pool of stillness at the trench's final depth, Challenger Deep, 11,000 meters below the sun. Here, at the bottom of the earth, the world becomes almost holy. No currents move, no waves echo. The sediment lies perfectly flat, unbroken, untouched. The silence feels eternal. Pressures rise to levels beyond comprehension, more than 1,000 atmospheres squeezing in from every direction. Yet the abyss is not dead. Tiny life forms drift like pale embers. Threads of bacteria wind through the mud in faint silver patterns. Amphipods no larger than a fingernail scurry along the seabed, their bodies built of softness instead of armor. Their weakness is their strength. They yield, and therefore they survive. In this final darkness, our instruments detect something unexpected, ripples of warmth rising from the floor, the fingerprints of hydrothermal vents far below the sediment, where molten rock meets ocean water and forges the chemistry that once created life itself. In this abyss without light, the ingredients of creation still simmer quietly, patient as time. We study the mud, and we find traces of microplastics, fragments of a world far above, carried here by sinking currents. A reminder that even the deepest place on Earth is not beyond our reach and not beyond our impact. The paradox stings. The most remote ecosystem, shaped by pressures beyond imagination, still feels the weight of our existence. We linger in the silence, suspended in a world where life bends the laws of possibility. And it becomes clear, the Mariana Trench is not merely a depth to be measured. It is a mirror held to the planet, showing us both its unimaginable resilience and its growing fragility. As we ascend, the darkness thins, light returns, faint and trembling, like the first dawn after a very long night. Shapes sharpen, colors awaken, the sea shifts from black to cobalt, from cobalt to blue, from blue to the familiar silver of waves touched by sky. And when we break the surface, the world feels different, brighter, lighter, as if gravity itself has eased its grip. We leave the trench behind us, but its truth remains. The deepest place on Earth is not a void. It is a cradle of ancient forces, a sanctuary of impossible life, and a reminder that the greatest mysteries are not in the stars above, but in the darkness below, still waiting to be seen.